Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Joe Show. Tonight, or today, or this evening, I have a very special guest. But before I bring her on, I just want to remind you guys, for those of you who haven't subscribed, please subscribe and please like this video. And while you're here, please also share. Tell people about this. I have a very interesting guest with me. There is an awards going around online, and we're going to talk about those awards. She's going to explain all those awards, but she's also an actress, a songwriter, and a singer. So I'm very excited to get to know her a little bit. She's a friend of Joanna, or Riddell, sorry. Perhaps some of you may remember Riddell. I interviewed Riddell not too long ago, the violinist, beautiful, talented human being. And Rea happens to be a friend and also performer. Ladies and gentlemen, also don't forget to also please go check out Rebel. We are shipping nationwide, so please go check out Rebel, www.rebelstoreza.com. And if you want to also become a member, if you want to support this channel, and don't forget that you can also join the Telegram channel to get all the updates of upcoming live streams and videos that I upload. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the one, the only, the beautiful Rea le Roux. Say hi.
I like your intro.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It reminds me of John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. You know that scene where they were doing that dance. Yeah. So I'm sitting here, I'm just like putting to that intro. Did you produce?
Thank you so much.
Did you take it from somewhere? Or?
No, I made it. Yeah, I do a bit of video editing and graphic design in my spare time to help pay the bills at the moment. Because as you know, being a fellow performer at the moment during this lockdown, you know, there's not a lot of gigs at the moment, so gotta do something.
You're telling me.
All right, so
for people who are jobless, broke.
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
What's wrong with
that? So I see already there's some people in the chats. Gentle Inflatables joined us. Yanni Vandervolt's also here, and Acid Zill, as well as Riddell's also in the chats. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember, please share. Please tell people to join us. All right, so before we get into your awards that you've been doing, which I'm very excited to talk about, I want to get to know you, Rea. I want to know, how long have you been a musician? How long have you been singing?
Too long. I'm kidding. I was born into a family of entertainers. My mom was an opera singer for the State Theatre. Like, must I look into the camera or look at you on the screen?
Look at the camera, yeah.
Okay, good. Howdy, folks. So my mom was an opera singer. My dad was a senior drama lecturer at the University of Pretoria. So I literally started singing with international superstars, well, acting with international superstars when I was 3 years old, because at the State Theatre, they always needed children in some of the operas and the shows. My mom being she was a permanent member of the choir. So whenever they needed kids, it's like, you come and act. So for us, it was kind of the most natural thing to do, to be on a stage, get home late, go to school the next morning, half asleep, stage makeup still dripping from your face. So I grew up in the industry, yes.
That's fantastic. So since you were basically a young one, you've been in the industry a very long time, so playing with international singers, as you mentioned, and performers. Anyone that we would know? What moment was like the biggest?
More on the classical side. Some of them I can't even remember their names, but I just remember since a young age, my mom would say, this one came from America, they imported him or her. I can't remember the names at this point in time. You know, my hair's a little bit huge, so my short memory is a little bit short. But locally, I had a very close bond with one of the Afrikaans superstars. I don't think you'll know his name, but Guy Korsten is like one of the most respected, revered opera singers in Afrikaans
cool.
history. So I had to play the part of a young boy when I was 3. So they cut my hair like a boy, and I played his son in the opera. And him and I had this very, very close connection. And I didn't know that he was so famous. To me, he was just Umgay. Then only when I started to get a little bit of brains, 3 more brain cells when I hit the like early 20s, I looked at some of the photographs and I was like, but that's Guy Korsten. And my parents are like, yes, he was like your show dad. And I was like, but he's like a legend. And they go, yes. I was like, oh my goodness. So I was too young to realize who I was dealing with. To me, they were women tiny, hey? And have you got sweeties for me? Meantime, I'm talking to these legends, but I didn't know. And now, yeah, I wish I was a little bit older when I started because I would have at least had the brains to go, wow, can I have your autograph?
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing to porn on eBay, you know what I'm saying? But
I think, but it's still cool. I mean, like to meet some of these legends when you're young and then realize it later, it's a cool story to tell. I think I wanted to ask also about your acting career. So is there anything, like, have you been in the movies or is it theater? What's the vibe there?
Joe, well, I was very blessed and fortunate. A friend of mine or an acquaintance of mine, he makes films. So he makes gospel films, but extremely modern, extremely contemporary and different and out of the box. So he's done some of the biggest selling gospel movies in South Africa. He's out of the box thinker, and they were going, we need someone to audition for one of the leads, but we need someone that's totally whacked. We need a lady who's going to be willing to act the part of a prostitute and a drug addict. And in the movie, she's going to have to pretend like she's doing drugs and she's ODing. She's going to get hit and slapped around. So then a lot of the more famous actors, they said, you guys, you cannot do this part because you're so well known from Siem de Laan or Egoli. For you now to go and play this street druggie, it's not going to work for your brand. So of course they went round the table, and then I was just lucky my name came up in that conversation, and I had to do an audition. And the result is the movie Gebore Talente. It's Born Talents. It's on Showmax.
Nice.
And I'm in the movie with Angelique Garber. She's a very well-known Afrikaans actor. Bauer Bosch, I don't know if you know Bauer Bosch is in it.
Yes, I'm familiar.
I ended up being the street prazi in the movie, doing drugs and stuff. So the people who've seen the movie, they're actually very shocked and upset because they're like, Rea, why does it look like you know how to do drugs? And I was like, guys, I don't know.
It's called acting.
Yeah, it's called acting, guys. I literally went onto YouTube. People shooting up heroin. And I watched. People are on heroin. And I watched. And then I did my research. And then it was like, okay, I need apparently when you do drugs, you need the veins to pop out. Mm-hmm. So I did all the research in terms of how you put on that armband thing and and then and it's all camera tricks. Like, for the heroin, for example, it looks so real, but it was just brown sugar that we melted in a teaspoon. And then I go with a syringe and we make the camera shots. I don't want to give away too much of the camera tricks.
Yeah.
But then the liquid pours off the back of my arm, but it's not in the shot. So it looks like you are shooting it up, but you're not.
That's fascinating. Yeah, it's interesting.
I had to vomit a lot in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Can I tell you about fake vomit?
Yeah, you can.
So now in the movie, I'm ODing on this E that I took and heroin and all kinds of stuff. So now the whole thing is she gets a second chance at life because she's vomiting the stuff. Okay. So now I'm like, okay, guys, Mr. Director, like, how do I just vomit when you say action? Like, don't worry, say dresser. Come. What the hell's in that? It's oats with yellow coloring, and then little bits of carrots in it.
Oh, that doesn't sound nice.
So you put it in your mouth, and then talk, talk, talk. Now's the moment of truth where you need to vomit as an actor, and you go. But it's just oats.
Yeah.
Like, just and it looks so real. Yeah.
Does it? What does it taste like?
Cock. No, sorry. Sorry. It tastes horrible. It tastes horrible.
Does it taste like vomit, or does it taste worse than vomit?
Nothing tastes worse than vomit. So if I had to choose between movie oats, movie vomit, and real, I'm gonna go for the oats. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just to get like a scale there. I want to go back. I want to go back a bit to something you said earlier. How people get upset when you act a character. You know, I've heard this before with different performers when they get a role and they maybe have to be like a drug dealer, or they have to be a thug, or they have to be someone really mean. And then I've seen this even with my fellow comedians who, you know, I'll give an example. Carl Weber once got a role in I think it was Igoli or some big series, and he had to be this drug lord. And on Facebook, everyone's like, "Oh, Carl, I didn't know you were like this," and blah blah. And he's like, "Guys, it's a character. I'm not really a drug lord. What is going on?" It's amazing how people will actually think you're.
But it shows you how humanity can be totally brainwashed by this vehicle, this entertainment vehicle that we have. Because my sister was an actor in Igoli for a long time, and in her part was the nanny who ends up sleeping with the boss and that one and that one. So her character was terrible character, and she's really a lady of total high values and moral standards. Okay, but I mean that was her part. So we used to walk in the Pick and Pay, and then we had these tinies coming up to us, wanting to literally smash her face in, like, "Who does let Who does I promise you."
Wow.
Then I had to go, whoa. This is Rea le Roux. What you're seeing is acting.
Yeah.
It's not real life. Alles wat jy sien op Sewende Laan, dit is nie waarheid nie. Dis soos 'n storie. Dis nie 'n aksie. Dis 'n storie. That is Sewende Laan, is 'n story. Yeah, it was insane how aggressive they got towards her in public.
Yeah.
And even after the movie, I also received Facebook messages going, "Oh, we had no idea that you were so rough and wild. It's unacceptable." And then you go, like, man, there's no future for the human race.
Yeah, like that's the thing, right? So yeah, like you mentioned earlier that like when they were looking for people with for the role, that some of the famous actors were advised like, "Oh, don't take that role because it's going to be bad for your brand." That's a very weird perception for me, because I studied theater, and yeah, so
thespian.
Yeah, I took Shakespeare and all that stuff. Yeah, so sorry, say that again.
Classical theater. You studied classical theater.
Yes, classical
you're
theater.
You're a thespian. You're a thespian, not a lesbian, a thespian.
Yeah.
T-H-E-S, thespian.
Yes. Thespian. I think like when actors. Yes. Look, I enjoyed it. I loved it. And I mean, like when we studied acting, right? You just take a role, and a good actor puts himself in that role or herself in that role, and
Yeah,
gets to know a character, builds a character, becomes that character, and gives the best performance they possibly can, regardless of what that character is: a druggie, a good person, a bad person. Doesn't matter. Your job as an actor is to uh, morph yourself into this character. So it's weird for me that nowadays actors are being told, no, 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 don't take that role. It's going to be bad PR, when it's your job to act. Like whatever
totally,
comes your way, just
totally.
do
Like,
it.
duh, it's just insane. I mean, we're what, 2021? We're going to Mars, and people cannot click. This is a movie. It's Netflix. It's make believe. But
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's just,
That's weird. Um, But congrats on doing that role. It sounds like it was a very demanding role, and that's a good thing. You should, I believe, as an actor, you should challenge yourself and do those tough roles. I mean, Heath Ledger, God rest his soul, one of my favorite actors. He did a movie
love that
called
guy.
Candy, and
Love
that was a very intense movie about drugs, and he was in a relationship with a druggie and all that stuff. Nobody bashed him because he did it. Nobody said, "Oh, Heath, you're such a druggie." Okay, in retrospect as well, like he did have a few issues, but I mean, he wasn't labeled completely as such. He did a fantastic job acting. He did a lot of great movies,
yeah.
and yeah, it's just sad to hear that these days.
Yeah, totally. The challenge for me as well is I'm known in the Afrikaans music industry for some of my comedy stuff that went viral. I don't know if you know about the Miley Cyrus Breaking Ball parody that I did.
I think I may have seen that. Yeah,
I changed. I came in like a wrecking ball. I changed it into "Ek's gat vol vir huis kan maak."
yeah,
I thing about women singing how tired we are of having to clean the house. So a filmmaker friend of mine, we made a video, and this thing went viral across the world under Afrikaans speaking people. But I didn't know the thing was going to hit, but it did. Don't ask me why, it did.
yeah,
In the video, I'm
yeah.
drinking sunlight, licking broomsticks. So this thing went viral, okay? So now we're shooting in Boksburg on the streets. So people recognize me from the comedy work. And here I am in this hectic character, and I have to get into character when they go action. Uh, Time is money on a film set, as you know. I have to
Yeah.
get into character, and now this guy's going to hit me, and I'm crying. I need to cry this, the ugly cry.
Yeah, yeah.
This ugly cry. So people walk up to me, the public, and they're like, "Why did you do that song, Hot for Five?" Why do you drink sunlight in your music video? I'm like, okay, can we
Oh.
just hold it? I'll be with you in a second. And it's like, why did you wear Crocs in that video? Pink Crocs. Because I wanted to. Okay, please leave me alone. I'm the actor. Then they're standing there and they're going, "Please can you sing Gat vol vir huis skoon maak for us?" And I go, okay, Gat vol vir huis skoon maak. Action, and this guy's hearing me. Falling to the ground, crawling on the ground, screaming. And then I get up and they go, "Cut. Let's just quickly get some water there for that person." Then I go, clean myself up. And then it's again, and action. Guy hitting me. Just hitting me in my face, me falling to the ground, crawling on boots, high heels, mini short
Jeez.
like this, and cut. Renee just quickly wants to talk to the DOP, blah blah blah, and action. And
It all starts
I
again.
would cry about like 10 times in a row on cue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
That
it's
was
tough.
hectic. That was hectic, hey. After
Yeah.
a while, to get into character, because now my tears are drying up. And I didn't have glycerine there. We use glycerine. We can't cry
Yes.
in front of the camera. you quickly cheat. I don't have glycerine there, so they wanted tears. So after a while, I'm like, hitting myself. So I'm
Method
red in
acting there.
the I'm hitting myself in the face. And when he says action, then I'm going to cry because it hurts so much when I hit myself in the face. So then the crying is not a problem for me.
Yeah.
That's
Shame.
crazy stuff, right?
No, it's insane. Like I think, yeah, like as I know demanding roles like that can be like you just explained, very demanding. And that's the thing. Like you take take after take after take after take until the director gets the visual that he wants, and there's extra footage for the editing room, and it's like reset, do it again, reset, do it again. Yeah, like kudos to you, man. That's not an easy role to play.
Like,
But
how did I hit myself in the face? Go ahead and try it, Joe. It's fun.
it's fun. Well, maybe for you, I don't know.
I'm kidding. I'm just trying to get a giggle out of you, hey.
Yeah. um, I just want to address some of the comments that have been coming through. Everyone's saying hi. We have Paco saying, I think Ria next steps in OnlyFans. Just kidding. Haha.
Next steps is OnlyFans. Just kidding, huh? Sorry, man. What does that mean, Joe? Do you understand?
OnlyFans is how do you explain this? It's like I don't want to call it a social media platform because it's not a social media platform, but it's basically a platform that you sign
Yeah.
up to as a performer, and you charge your audience to become or to view your content, right? So it's similar to YouTube, only you have to pay to see certain things. Now the problem is with OnlyFans is they don't censor a lot, so there's a lot of like how do I put this?
Hiding comments and profanity and stuff.
Well, there's a lot of ladies that show a lot of content, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's
More fans. Is that an app? It's an app that I can
yeah, it's like
download.
an app and a thing you upload content and stuff like that.
Is it
Yeah,
Paco? Paco, thank you for
yeah,
your comment.
Paco said.
I'm going to investigate it. And your fans, we're going to be doing poetry. Good old fashioned
Nice.
poetry.
Yeah. And then simply pump it up. DJ5 or V says, Goeienaand, blonde bombshell, grote DJ5.
Wow. Good evening, blonde bombshell. Wow. I like it.
And then
After the show, DJV.
and then Rainier Van Rooyen says, "Hi, Ria. Hello."
Fans, hi, Renee. How's my
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, please use the super chat function if I don't get to your question and you really want to ask. Like, you can ask Ria anything on the show. If I miss your question, give a super chat, and I have to address it just so you guys know. All right, so we're almost halfway through the show. Let's start talking about what you've been up to, because I found out about this award thing that you put together, and I want you to tell me more about it.
how much time do you have?
Well, let's start this. How did the idea come to you? And tell us what it's all about. Let's start from there.
Okay. The awards thing has been like brewing in my mind and in some discussions and meetings with potential business partners for many years. It's not something that just came into being overnight. Muscle bar is great. Ooh, send a pic. Thank you, Renee. Because I'm an independent artist in South Africa, okay? And as I walked the road, I realized, damn, you need to be superwoman or superman to be an indie, we call it indie, hey? Independent artist in this country. I was signed with a very, very big international record label. I loved having a team working on my brand. It was fantastic. But me being a rebel, I prefer the freedom that independence gives me.
Yeah.
Because you cannot tell me to wear high heels to a radio interview if I don't want to, because I'm not
Yeah.
going to. So the independent model fits my personality type more because I'm such a rebel and I do crazy stuff to test social media
Mm.
as a kind of a fan generating machine for myself. So I realized when I became indie that it's the hardest work that I have come across. It's worse than being a ballet dancer. I thought ballet was the hardest work
Wow.
in entertainment. It's not. It's being an independent musical artist because you have to one write your own stuff or get someone to write it for you. Then you have to go and get that stuff produced. Then you have to go and get your photos done. Then you have to go and get your design done. Then you have to get conceptualize your own music video. At the music video shoot, usually there's no budget because you have to pay for it yourself. So you have to organize everyone. Then you have to direct everyone in the music video shoot. The editor doesn't know what he's doing because he's working for free and he's using some app that you could have taken from your cell phone to edit. So you end up doing the editing anyway yourself. Then now this thing is now done. Now you have to go and release this damn thing. And now you have to get your tracks onto iTunes, Deezer, Spotify. While that's happening, your bank account is going, okay? So you have to gig. So in a one phone conversation, you trying to convince people to book you for this festival, while the actor in the music video's mom is calling you because her daughter looks fat in some of the scenes. So you have to re-edit the whole thing. Now it's crazy. It's crazy. Like if I wasn't half crazy, I would have been able to do it. To be honest. So then I started thinking, but you know what? We in South Africa we've got the Samas, bless them, they're doing good work. We've got in Afrikaans we had Gumas, we had ITFM. But typically the awards usually go to your big artists signed with big labels, which is great. Very happy for them because I know they've got some resources behind them. But what about the others? There are hundreds and thousands of musicians in South Africa that they're producing world-class work, Joe. As you know, you work with some of these people as well. And you're going, you know what, just because you're not signed with XYZ, you're never going to get recognition in this country ever for work done. So the concept was, let's start an awards event, an awards initiative to hand out awards to our independents only.
Okay.
And then from there, Afri-Indie was born. It's an abbreviation for the South African Independent Artist Music Awards. It's nationwide. It covers most of the genres, even comedy. And someone that you will know, one of our nominees is the Kipness.
Yes. I am showing it now on Facebook. So, ladies and gentlemen, please go, if you are not aware or don't know about it, please go give it a like. The link is in the description below, as well as Ria's Facebook page as well. Please go give that a like. So there we go. There's some nominees there, obviously advertising the show for tonight. Thank you. And I believe, if I can find him quickly, the one that we all know about, which I was actually very excited to see him part of the awards. Let's see, where is he? He's coming. Seems like you've got a lot of support, which is also awesome.
Yeah, the artists are so excited because we're going to position this thing as a very, very sought after prestigious award. My whole life isn't about awards, but it is about, you know what, you've been working for 50 years in the South African music industry. No one has ever come together and said to you, you know what, we see you. We think you're doing great work. We love you. As your fans, here's something for you. So there's the Kipness. Now, the Kipness, in my view, is Afri-Indie royalty. He's indie royalty. The same goes for Max Harold because I call them game changers. They, during lockdown, they just emerged as these online giants, and they work on their own. They do it all on their own, releasing their stuff on their own, and they're getting millions and millions and millions of hits. They're creating a new model that just,
Yes.
it's incredible. So they are big on the radar.
Yes.
Fitness and Max, definitely.
Yeah.
So covers Afrikaans and English material. If someone wants to enter a Zulu album, they're welcome to do so. And then at the red carpet event, hopefully we can fly you in from Cape Town, darling.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yes,
On
please.
the red carpet event, we're gonna go all out. If you want to arrive there in a freaking egg, like Lady Gaga, we're the Iggies. It's not by the rules. Like, we want to see people on the red carpet going all out fashion-wise, and all the weirdos are going to come together and have this awards evening. I'm going to have all the media there, networking with the artists, going, you know
Nice.
what, this guy is so hot. He's never had a radio interview. Please help him with a radio interview. You. Here is, he won, he's good. And see how we can help the artists to get more marketing and noise going on about their brands. So yeah, full order.
So I see people are nominated. Do people go now and SMS, or I see WhatsApp actually? Can people still vote for who they want to win?
How we work, Joe, our model is based a lot like the SAMA Awards, the panel of experts, and there are experts, trust me. Even I was like, with their knowledge, the questions they ask about the artists and what they're doing, the experts, the panel decides who gets the Oscar.
Okay.
But on your actual official banner, there is a WhatsApp number for the fans just to show their support. But we aren't going to base it on public votes this year.
Okay.
Because
All right.
it's the merit of the work.
Yes. Yes.
So we
absolutely.
can't say you are the male pop album of the year because you got 6 million votes. But when you listen to the album, it's not something that we're proud of to say this guy doesn't deserve an Oscar. We're not going to do it. So we don't want to work on public votes. It's artistic merit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like the Oscars, like there's the guild and the Actors Guild and all those other organizations that vote on who wins Best Actor or Best Screenplay or Best this or Best that. So I agree. Yeah, it should be like that. Even the Comics Choice Awards that used to be out there, which I was also part of once. We vote. So the comedians vote for fellow comedians. That's a bit of a flaw because there is a bit of a populist problem there. I do think we have spoken to them. This is public knowledge. I'm not bashing them. They're trying to figure out ways to limit that. And I think one of the ways, which I did suggest to them once, was maybe choose an unknown, like you said, like an unknown panel that are experts that have been in the game for a very long time. They know what to look for, stage presence, material, original or not, funny or not, blah, blah, blah. Like maybe 10 individuals that know what they're talking about and really judge based on talents. And I think that's a way to go. And well done on organizing all of this.
I mean, the whole thing with the Afri-Indie Awards is first round, before the level 5 lockdown started, we had a very prestigious venue. They had to close their door because of COVID. Then we had another venue. They had to close their doors. And we just carried on. And I worked with partners in the industry who shares a passion for the indies. So we're like, we don't care, COVID, non-COVID. We're going to pull this thing off, even if it's the last thing we do. So through all the challenges, it started snowballing. The artists started talking. And as soon as I think we hit like a level 2, it would be safe for us to have the gala events with the red carpet, cameras, and
that's awesome.
Yeah. And can I tell you who's up for a Lifetime Achievement Award?
Yeah, of course.
They already know, so I'm allowed to talk about it. Have you ever heard of that band, the Staccatos? They sang that song. Don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Come on,
yes, I know that song. Yeah.
You know them?
Yeah.
They have been working at their craft for 60 years.
Wow. That's a very long time.
60 years entertaining South African audiences. Now, Joe, don't you think it's time that someone goes, here's a freaking Oscar, man. You deserve it.
Yeah. No,
Because
absolutely.
that's what we're about, Joe.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, I've heard of a lot of musicians who have been in the industry for years and don't get recognition, or just kind of, I don't know, float under the radar, if I can put it that way. There are things like idols and stuff like that that help certain musicians that get through. Does help with their career a little bit. Like for example, Mark Hayes, who I've had on this show. But he also told me, like, it's very TV. It's he doesn't feel like it's really about the talents. It's more about, do you have a sad story to tell and you happen to be a good singer, so we'll get you through or whatever. It becomes very TV-esque,
Yeah,
which is a problem. Art, whether you're a comedian, actor, singer, painter, we produce content
yeah,
in whatever medium, because it's an expression of what lies within us, and we become vulnerable when we put that content out there. And to be recognized, especially after such a long time, like the band you just mentioned, 60 years, that's a
60.
lifetime.
It's a
That's a
life.
lifetime. Yeah,
And,
it's about time.
and because their awards are usually focused on the top sellers, not
Mm,
everyone as an artist or musician, not everyone's focus is to sell as many CDs as a human possibly can. Because the sellers aren't necessarily always the best. So
mm,
Afri-Indie is trying to create a platform to say, you know what, guys, we're not a popularity contest. Thank God. We want to see your work and
mm.
we want to go, well done. Here's an Oscar, regardless of your sales. We might look at sales, have a category for sales in the future, but not at the moment. We want to
Yes,
go
yes,
back to artistic value, entertainment value. Because you can
yes.
do an EDM song, a dance track, which is usually doof, 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 with a couple of words. But you can produce a dance track where people can really go, flip, this is the coolest dance track we've ever heard. Like, and you can
Mm.
still get an award. Um,
Well, case in point, the Kifness, who made a recent remix, which has gotten over 3 million views on YouTube, which is like,
game changer. Hey,
yeah,
absolutely admire what he's done because he's totally bypassing the traditional label. I've got nothing against labels, don't get me wrong, they do good work for the artists, but he's totally changed the model of the traditional label sign.
mhm,
I get 5%
yes,
royalty and you take 95. He's totally done his own thing. So yeah,
yes.
we're big fans at Afri-Indie of his work. Like,
Yes. No, he's doing. I think he's doing great things to change, or to at least create a different attitude in the industry, and I'm 100% behind him. For those of you who are curious, just search on my YouTube channel, Kifness.
yeah,
You'll find it. I did interview him last, I think 3 months ago. Very interesting conversation with the Kifness. Very, very, very smart guy for such.
he's
I
very
think he's going to do very
philosophical.
well. He is doing very well. Yeah.
He studied philosophy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah,
his
which
passion was so philosophical. I was, wow, he's got brains, this guy. It was amazing. Because
mm,
usually, what I find with comedians, and Joe, you being a very good comedian yourself, what I find with
thank you.
comedians, that they remind me of the clown face with this half is smiling and half is sad. Like a
Yes,
lot of
yes,
times, for comedians are the people with very deep souls, extremely deep.
yes,
He reminds
yes.
me of that. He's so funny, but then he's got this
Mm,
very spiritual, philosophical side to him where you go,
mm.
is this the guy who's jumping around in his underwear to club songs? No, he's very interesting. Hey, I love him.
Yeah, and it's very true what you say. Comedy. Some of the best comedians, I think, they really dig deep into their darkest corners of their being. Comedy does come from tragedy, and while that is a bit of an oxymoron, it's very, very, very true. I mean, Robin Williams has a quote where he said that the reason why he likes making people laugh is so that they forget their problems, and he doesn't want people to feel the way he does.
Oh,
And
you
it's
say that
true.
in lifetime. Wow.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I I've done a few gigs where people have come to me and said like, "Thank you for making me laugh. Thank you for the awesome jokes. It's maybe I have had a really crappy week, and the show was great."
Yeah.
And as a comedian, that's like why we do it. You know, we do it to make you laugh. We do it to make you forget, even just for a moment. Uh, you know, whatever crappy week you've had, crappy day, crappy year. I mean, I personally like I watch so many comedians because I enjoy laughing. I enjoy it, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel good. You know, I'll put on stand up comedy if I'm feeling down, if I'm sick. I really, really do love comedy. It is my world, and that's why it's so crappy right now because I can't be on a stage. The last time I was on a stage was almost a year ago, so it's been rough.
There you go.
Yeah.
And what you do now, do you find that you can express yourself to a certain extent as a comedian, or is it your
Yes
target
and no. Um,
to?
yeah, like it's different. Obviously, being on YouTube now. Look, when the lockdown happened, before the lockdown, I was what they call a promoter or a uh, organizer. So I used to organize stand up comedy shows all around Cape Town.
Wow,
So I knew all the guys and stuff like that. I've worked with a lot of the guys as well. And I've been doing it. I'd been doing it for 10 years.
sure.
So when the lockdown happened and it was announced state of disaster, immediately my phone started. I think it was the next day. My phone started going off the hook with my clients saying like, "Sorry, we're gonna have to cancel our upcoming shows." I had shows booked like almost a year ahead,
Ah,
and everybody was canceling because of the pandemic. And within 24 hours, all the potential money, all the potential events gone. Even I was going to have my TV debut last year as well. That had to be postponed twice. So yeah, it's hit me hard. And so when that happened, I was like, I can either sit at home and do nothing and write, or I can do something to still be in the public eye. And the only option is YouTube. So I had been
wow,
wanting to restart my YouTube channel, and so I did. I threw myself into it literally day one of the lockdown. The first live stream I have on this channel is literally us going into lockdown, March last year. So day
wow.
one of the lockdown, I started, and I haven't stopped.
Game changer. You're also a
Yeah.
game changer.
Well, thank you. I hope so. I mean, I
Right,
try and be.
for the next Afri-Indie Awards, because you also, what I like about what you're doing is you're giving a lot of artists hope again. Because we're not up and about doing as many TV and radio shows uh, as in the past. It's so cool to know that, wow, we can still have an interview like this and promoting ourselves. It's fantastic. So thank you for that. Hey.
Oh well, thank you, and I've always like enjoyed speaking to fellow performers. We actually, whether we're musicians, magicians, actors, or comedians, we all share a common trait, which is we enjoy to perform and we enjoy to make people forget what their problems are. And I've had magicians on the show, I've had musicians, I've had comedians mainly, but yeah. Um, I think in terms of to answer your question as well, the expression I have or the way, obviously YouTube, because I'm
Yeah.
performing to a camera, is very different than being on stage. Like as a comedian on stage, you feed off the audience, and as an actor, as a musician, you also feed off the audience. Um, so the audience not being around is very weird. Like a lot of people on this channel always ask me, "Hey, why don't you do a stand-up comedy show, like a live, on YouTube?" And I'm like,
You
guys,
can't.
it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I'm gonna see emojis of laughing, and and people are mean when they're behind a keyboard. I did one or two 5-minute gigs on Instagram live, and people can be harsh. Like you have to be on
Necessity
point.
of insults, and I can just
Yeah,
imagine.
like they'll just literally say, "Dude, you're not funny," and it's like as a comedian, you're like, um, so like it's I saw that like it wasn't me, but I was on a lineup on Instagram Live, and the guy before me, again as comedians, like it's difficult because all comedians are in that mindset of it's a normal set. And they don't
Yeah,
realize that if you're going to be in front of a camera and you're going to do things online, you have to change it up a bit. So they were doing it like they were on a stage, right? And it just wasn't going well. And the one guy I know, I've seen him live. He is funny, but you just saw the comments come like, this guy's not funny. Next, bring on the next guy, you know? And I'm like, yo, people are rough. People are rude, man.
I had that, and I was like, moderate,
Yeah.
delete.
um, but yeah, like, so what I did, like when I did a few of these online things is I tried to have a conversation rather than, and I try and do that anyway in my stand-up comedy, but it was even more of a conversation. So like I remember when the guy brought me or introduced me, I had like a Fruit Loops cereal. I was holding a Fruit Loops cereal box and I was eating it, which is like weird because like why are you doing that? And I played off of that. I had a Chewbacca mask that I used to wear. I tried to do magic tricks and make fun of that. So I had props and stuff to help me bring the comedy, and I would rant, when this whole thing's over, I'm missing stand-up comedy so much that I'm literally gonna go on payday to like Canal Walk, any busy mall, and just perform stand-up in the queues, just to get
And then
myself,
water crates.
yeah, like busking, like
Yeah,
proper stand-up comedy busking. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff I started doing, and then I focused more on YouTube. My YouTube channel I think is a little bit serious, but I am trying to bring a bit more comedy into it as well. Like I want to start. It's very different because the process is different. So as a comedian, I look at things, I write something down, an idea, and then I work on that idea. I rehearse that idea. Then I take it to the stage and I feed off the audience, and it eventually grows into something you workshop with other comedians and stuff like that. Whereas with YouTube, you got to film it, you got to write the script. Then the editing is actually what can make it even funnier if you're good at editing.
yeah,
So it's a different, and then you can't really, once like you schedule it, the video, or you release the video, and only afterwards you get like likes or comments and stuff like that, and then you can kind of gauge, okay, cool, what can I do next differently?
yeah,
But it's a longer process, and it's very different. So I'm still finding my voice and my feet on this whole YouTube thing. But I will
yeah.
admit, if I didn't have it, I probably would have gone crazy. Like it still feels great to be
And
able to do interviews like this, speak to
yeah,
people, and interact with the audience.
yeah. And you've got
Um,
royalty on your show. I mean, I was looking at some of the interviews of Barry Hilton, the Kipnis, Rob van Vieren. So you're really making a huge impact. Thank you for
I
that.
hope so. Thank you.
And Insta as well is you never know what's going to get the hits. Like sometimes I'll do something funny and I'm going, yes, man, this is going to be 10 million hits, and then I get like 10, and like,
Yeah.
and then you do something just out of the blue, something totally ridiculous, and then it gets 200,000 views. I don't get that, but that's the nature of the beast, I guess.
Yeah,
Because
exactly. Yeah.
that guy. He's released the song with the Kipnis and Max Harrell. This guy literally stood in front of his pool, okay, with a selfie camera. And he looked into the camera and he went, tough times never
Yes.
last. Tough people last. You know him, Demi. The guy's name's Demi. He's now a friend of
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
That's
And
really
it goes,
cool. This thing went viral, my bro. This thing got millions and millions and millions and millions. At one point, I'm like, damn, if I see that little video one more time, it was just in your face, and it was just doing the rounds again and again. And then Max Harrell and the Giftness invited him to do a song with him. YouTube it after the show.
I'll
It's just
check it
a,
out. Yeah.
and then they took that voice sample because Max loves doing that and just taking a random sample
Yes.
and tough times never last. Only
Yeah.
tough people last. With this massive EDM beat, and this thing got millions of views. Now, how do you do that, eh? I bring
Yeah, and
my
then
A game, 10 views, 10 views.
and then like you wonder to yourself like because some of the stuff you see that goes viral, you're like, I could have done that. I could have done
Yeah,
that.
I could have stood in front of my pool and I could have said,
Yeah.
tough people last, tough people last. And I would have been a star. He was a star. They booked you for a Savannah show, a Savannah ad. You got a solo in a Savannah ad, this ad, that ad. Every time I speak to him, he's on his way on a freaking flight to some TV ad that they booked him for. And if the pay's not right, he goes, no, 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 I'm not acting in your ad. You can pick and choose. And like all Demi did was he said, tough time never lasts, only tough people last. And
And
they
then
make him skateboards with his face on it, t-shirts.
it's insane, man. I don't know.
Like
Maybe
we're thinking maybe very like I don't know, like maybe we think sometimes maybe I think in terms of comedy I'm thinking maybe too complex.
yeah, but that does happen. Like sometimes you just gotta, I guess, let loose or just I don't know. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a viral video yet. But I mean, that's the other thing. I think like for me, for some reason, it's weird, right? So like on the stage when I'm live and I'm performing, yes, there's chord or whatever, but I feel a lot more free on the stage, if I can put it that way. But
Yeah.
when I'm in front of a camera, I don't feel as free, and I think that's starting.
Stage is your medium. That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
You
exactly. And I think that's starting. I'm starting to loosen up now as I'm obviously doing YouTube now. I'm starting to loosen up a lot, but
yeah.
yeah, the I think that's one thing. Like one thing I've noticed about people that go viral is they don't care. They just record this thing, and then they're authentic, and I think that's what drives it.
Yeah. Because they're not supermodels, they're not actors. It's a whole new
They don't
genre of
overthink
celebrity.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new. I call it the new genres of celebrities. The guy
Mm.
sitting at home and him and his wife making a funny joke and goes viral. The next thing, they appearing with us at festivals on the stage and like, okay,
Nice to have you
Kirsten,
here. All right,
but
just
millions of fans, so
yeah.
high five.
I
But
just want to say,
big favor. Um, Before I don't know what time the show ends, but really, I'm begging you. I've got my cameraman right here. Please, don't you want to say this is Joe from the show, and then go. I just want to congratulate all the Afri-Indie Music Award nominees. Don't lose hope. This thing's not going to last forever. Blah blah blah. Like just like a little encouraging message to the nominees. Would you mind?
not a problem. I just before I do that,
I've
I
got
want to just
to inspire you.
before I do that, I just want to address or just give a shout out to Jocks Goosen. Thank you so much for the $1. Just $1. No question, no, nothing else. But thank you so much. I can pay rent at the end of the month now with that $1 because of the exchange rate. That's great. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching.
Brave us. Is that a donation that came through from someone?
Yeah, it's a super chat.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen, thank you for your $1. You win comedy dance from Rea the Unicorn.
Yay.
Exchange rate today. Yeah. Unicorn loves money. Yeah. And then a bit of cabaret for you, Jacques. Start spreading the news. It's up to you, New York, New Yeah.
Yeah, anyone who just tuned in is going to be very confused. Why is there a unicorn on Joe Show?
Immediately. Or the pink owl. The
Oh,
pink
the
owl
pink owl.
is serious, yeah. Joe, if you give me $1 American dollar right now, the owl is gonna sing something for you.
Okay.
$1 after the show. Are you
All
giving me
right. Well,
$1 after the show, Joe? It's like 16 rand. Hey,
yeah, it's like 16 rand. Yeah.
$1. $1. Hoeveel is that? 16 rand. Okay, so you're gonna give me us $1, hey? Nee,
Okay.
Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, so you win a song. Joe, jy's 'n lekker ou. We love you so. Duh, 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 duh.
All right, come on, guys. Anybody that's watching, give a super chat. That was amazing. All right. So also, I need a super chat to pay that $1. So all right. So you want me to give a message to the nominees?
Yeah, Afri-Indie nominees, congratulations. And then just a little bit of encouragement to say, guys, thinking of you, hang on there. We'll go back to the stage soon, hopefully. Just some encouragement from the show about your best American accent, please.
All right. Do you want it to just be me on the screen or?
I want to be on the screen too.
Okay, good.
Just like this. I just want to check with my cameraman. Is hy reg? Kom, sit hom gou af. Okay. Nee, maar net sit hom af want ek wil net die encouragement hê vir die Afri-Indie ouens. Thanks, Willie. You're a star. Again.
All right, I'll just wait for you to say action.
$1 for this message. Then we're on zero.
Okay. Cool. I'll go on your.
Okay. But our photographer is ready. Okay.
All right. All right. So congratulations to all the nominees of the Afri-Indie Awards. Congratulations from everyone here at the Joe Emilio Show. Remember, guys, hang in there. Things are going to get better. This will eventually pass, hopefully, and we'll all be back on the stage very soon. And good luck to all the nominees from everyone here at the Joe Emilio Show. Thank you.
Wow, dude. You're like one of those people who can read a phone book and make it sound hot.
Well, I tried to put on my radio voice.
Ooh, yeah. Girlfriend, you're missing out, hey? Like in America, apparently you get these phone services where you call you dial numbers. Like say you like certain ladies of certain age, blah blah blah. They hook you up with phone numbers. Then you talk to each other over the phone, and then someone makes a lot of money out of it.
Okay.
Don't figure out how it works, okay? But you woo this. You have to woo this person with your voice because you don't get pictures, nothing. Apparently, at some point you get a picture. But now I'm thinking, like, say if I called you on this service, like I don't know you, I don't have a picture of you. You just fit my demographic, and I call you when you answer the phone. Like, if you really have to impress a lady, give us that voice. Give us that hello.
All right. Howdy, partner. You're looking pretty tonight. No, I'm kidding.
Cowboy.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I would just be like, hey, what's up?
Your voice again, your fine voice. Okay, I'm not dressed for this.
Hello, Riddell.
Tell me, you will you go on a date with him? I know he's married. We just playing. Yeah, his wife is amazing. I met. We love your wife. We love your wife. How's it, girl? Yeah. Give me a point out of 10. Like, give us that voice again. If we call you now on the service, like when you answer the phone, like give us that voice. It's all acting.
Which one? The Texan accent or like the radio accent?
What's another one? And then you're gonna tell me out of 10 what you think of his charm.
Well, hello, ladies. How are you doing tonight?
Okay.
We're fine, and we're fine.
All right.
Nice. Oh wait,
I'll give him 8. We'll give you 8. 8, huh?
No,
All right, I'll take it. 8 is good. It's nice to know. It's nice to know that I've got a face for radio. That's great.
Do you think if on that service someone calls me on a dating service, I speak to them, I think they'll just go, "This woman is crazy. Tell me her number."
But wait, Joe, now I have to. I've posted this comment, but just ask you this last question.
Ooh.
This
So
video, no, seriously, of high school Mark, and then people meet her in real life on the show.
Yeah.
What they ask you and what they tell you. She doesn't look like she looks on the video. It's like
They made
that one.
They made me really ugly in the video because my friend, who's one of the largest filmmakers in South Africa, he made the biggest Afrikaans movies in the history of the country, okay? So he pitches up there. They're sponsoring me because its song went viral. I was so grateful because I'm getting sponsored this video, but he brought wardrobe and makeup artists, and it was just insane. I felt like freaking Oprah for a day. Like, like what? And they made me really ugly in the video, like seriously ugly. I'll send you the link. Like
right.
white powder, black under the eyes, red on the teeth, like really ugly. So when people book me, I arrive at the show with my broom and my sunlight to do the song. Then they say it's a double, it's not me, because I look so damn ugly in the video. I really look ugly. I really look ugly. I'll send the link to you, okay?
All right, cool. Yeah, please do.
I
I want to.
Joe, Riddell, if you had to call me Joe on the dating service based on my voice, call me quickly. Say your name at your heart. Call me. Then I'll give you my dating voice.
Okay.
Then you
Okay.
points out of 10.
Do you want me to call you now?
Yeah. Dring, dring. Okay, so answer the phone. Go, hello.
Hello.
Say hello.
How are you? Yeah.
Hello, Johnny boy.
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of guys watching right now are like, please send me your number. All right. So we are pretty much okay. So we're actually over time, but that's fine. I want to ask you one more question before we go, which is tell us about the most embarrassing gig you've ever done, whether it's whether it was a music gig or an acting thing, just the most embarrassing gig you've ever done.
Like for real.
Like for real.
For real.
Like for real.
Not holding back.
Yeah.
Okay. We did this festival once. I was with this superstar. His name is Rea le Roux. He was like the prince of pop in the Afrikaans industry, like the blue-eyed boy. I was very honored to open for him, be an opening act, and we were on stage, and I was singing. And while I was singing, on my right-hand side, I saw something that looked like a freaking what is it? Like a bomb going off. Then while I was singing, I saw an individual flying through the air, totally airborne, flying through the air while I was singing. I was like, literally like a cheap comedy movie, like. It's almost like it went slow-mo. You're like. This guy flew through the air and he landed smack bang in the middle of the rugby field. Amidst all the bride barbecue and things going on. And what happened was the stall next to me, the waffle stand. Sorry, I mustn't laugh. The waffle stand put the spray and cook on the gas something and it heated up.
Oh no.
Like a bomb. I promise you,
my word.
spray cook bomb went off. It looked like a nuclear. Now that's the word I'm looking for, like a nuclear bomb. It went like like a white nuclear light.
Yeah.
So I just went airborne while I'm singing. So then
You should have you should have busted into It's Raining Men. That would have been like perfect.
Fine, but it turned out this guy had third-degree wounds, and he got
Ooh.
rushed to hospital. And I was giving the ugly cry on stage and backstage, all these superstars. Now I'm doing the ugly cry. So I'm crying on this one guy who's also like a superstar. I'm crying on his white sweater. And he just had mascara all over his white sweater.
No.
You could just see backstage everyone's sweaters. I was crying on their shoulders, and everybody had these
Babe.
mascara running over their sweaters, and they were more worried about the sweaters that I was crying on than the poor guy. Typical narcissistic.
Yeah. Shame, man.
Page.
Jeez.
That was bad,
Yeah.
eh? I was still singing this concert. Solank as die kindie waterleendie. I was singing the whole way through.
Jeez. Well, you guys are also lucky that, like, I mean, the explosion didn't start like a fire or anything next to the stage. It just.
Apparently, the guy had like his skin had like wounds that will be there for the rest of his life. It will leave marks and stuff.
But the stall where you said there was a waffle stall and that's what exploded. That didn't start a fire or anything.
It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It was like in a sci-fi film. When the spray cook bomb went off, it made a white.
Oh, I see. Okay.
White witblits.
Yeah.
Witblits.
Yeah.
Not a witblits, just a white mushroom top going, just, and that was it. And the guy went airborne.
Jeez, that's insane.
Wow. Weird guys. The one day I've got this show with Boo Boo. She's a very famous Afrikaans actress from Feko Palace. Have you ever heard of Feko Palace?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
That's how famous it is, because even the English people know about it. Now, her and I, we've got a show together.
Well,
the two blocks, we've got to be together and we act all ditzy on stage and stupid and, dumb, just be ourselves. I'm kidding. So also the one day we were at this flea market, and just out of nowhere, this total crazy guy came onto the stage. But he was wearing like a clown wig, a big wig like this, with clown makeup on. And, stripy socks, and it looked like his sister's ballet to this whacked character, like totally whacked character. And we're still singing, Bring Fair die Harlekijn. And this crazy guy came onto the stage with his clown outfit on. And he was just like,
what the hell?
Wow, we're singing. I was
Yeah.
actually, I can't get scared of clowns. Maybe someone told me. But it was scary. Everyone was laughing. They were falling off their chairs. They thought it was part of the act, but it wasn't. So we were like, thank you. Yeah, but it was scary. Yeah, his whole face. Like the clown smile, like almost like a Joker vibe, I was so scared.
Wow. Some people, eh? Yes.
Random, huh? So we've had our weird times, definitely. And you, please tell us your story before we go.
Let's see. I didn't have a experience like yours. No clowns on the stage. Well, that's debatable. But yeah. I didn't have an explosion happen or anyone fly through the air. There was one gig that I was organizing where someone it was weird. So obviously, these gigs, they happen in sometimes the most weird places and bars and taverns and stuff like that. So I was at a bar. I was at a racetrack, Killarney racetrack, and it was a bar that belonged to bikers, and so
Oh,
we're no, it was a good show. The people were nice. It didn't go that way, and and so it's a great show. Everyone's doing well. Everyone's doing great. Halfway through the show, just before the break, a fellow comedian's on the stage doing his set, and we see this really intoxicated individual get up and just kind of sway his way to the bathroom, and then all of a sudden, you just hear boom, 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 from the bathroom. And everybody's like, what the hell just happened? Even the guy on stage that's like, what were my jokes that bad? He tried to play off of it. And all of a sudden, someone ran into the bathroom and came back out almost like, guy's on the floor. He's not moving. Apparently, he slipped and fell and hit his head on the basin. And we had to stop the show. And ambulance came, took him out on a stretcher. And then you try starting a show again after that.
Did people laugh, or did they
we tried to continue the show. We did finish the show, but it was very stiff after that, like, to say the least. Yeah. Very stiff. Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yeah, that's one of that from a promoter's or organizing point of view, that was embarrassing. I felt embarrassed for the comedians, because how do you, and props to them, they were professional. They still went on with the show, because we still had a meeting after the ambulance came. We're like, should we even, like, is it rude now to even continue the show? I mean, everyone's like kind of now in a weird space. And then Carl Weber, the same comedian I mentioned earlier, was like, no, let's make them feel better. And I'm like, okay.
Are you good at telling jokes, or your comedy, does it have to come spontaneously? Or like, can you tell me a joke now to make me feel better about life?
I think I've been telling you jokes this whole time. I'm not good. I'm not good at improv. I'm not good at improv. I'll be honest. I'm not an improv comedian. I do
every day. I
Sorry?
get blonde jokes. Every day I get blonde jokes. I think I'm going to take offense, and then I go, "Wow, that's a good one. I haven't heard that one before," because I don't take offense.
That's good. A blonde joke. Jeez. I don't do those kind of jokes. Like, all my stuff is like personal experiences and stuff like that, like stuff like when being an American, being in South Africa and learning the South African culture and falling in love with it. It took me a while to figure out that when Cape Townians say away, they're not telling me to go away. They're actually greeting me. That took a while. Yeah. In getting off the airplane.
So funny.
I was like, I just got here.
Listen, I'm sorry about that one, but I'll credit you, okay? I'll credit you on that one.
Yeah. Please do. Yeah.
How much we have to improv.
No, thanks. That made me laugh. That was good. Thanks.
No worries. All right. Well, let's call it here. I like to keep these as short as possible. Rea, it was fantastic having you on the show. You're such a lively, bubbly, entertaining person. I must have you back at some point in the future. You and Riddell, I still need to get Riddell back. So yeah, like, is there anything you want to tell the audience before we close off?
Like, if you see any artists promoting their music schools, and overnight they've got a music school, like teaching guitars or vocals, please support them if you can, because they're really doing it because that's the only thing a lot of them have to fall back on. So get those guitar lessons going, vocal lessons going, because the teaching is what a lot of the artists are living on at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, please support your musicians if they are teaching or selling hot dogs on the corner. I heard about this American actor, like quite successful. He's selling knickknacks on the corners now. And
Really?
a lot of people are in survival mode. I'm going, guys, we're in survival mode. We have to do what we can now to pay the rent. Do what you can for now. Let's put our pride in our pockets. We're in survival mode. Go and sell pancakes if you have to survive. But know in your heart, it's not going to be forever. It's just for a short period of time. It's not going to be forever. So keep that hope alive in your heart. Because hope is what pulled us through world wars. It is what pulled us through horrific times. And hope is what is going to pull us through this whole COVID thing. So even if you have to sell fake cook, hot dogs on the corner, go and do that. Do that just so you can survive and feed your children. Yeah. And know, in a short moment, we'll all be back on stage again.
Yes, I agree with that. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, please go and like Afri-Indie on Facebook. And don't forget to like Rea le Roux's Facebook pages in the description. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and like this video and share this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the comments and engaging with us. And thank you to Riddell for also being in the chats.
And thank you for the dollar. Thank you for the dollar. Thanks for the $1.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget the $1.
Yeah. And I will definitely invite you to the red carpet so you can see what it's all about.
Oh, I'd love to.
We had South African artists entering singles that they recorded with Grammy nominees. You're going to be blown away. It's not inferior quality at all.
I'm very much looking forward to it. I'll be there. I will be there. So just tell me when and where, and I'll try and get there. We'll make a plan. Boer maak 'n plan, right?
Oh yeah. Thank you so much, Joe. You're a star, and thank you for the platform.
You're most welcome.
Providing to artists, we really appreciate you. Hey.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as we sign off, Rea, don't go anywhere. There's going to be an outro that's going to play now. As for the rest of you, once again, please subscribe. I will have more guests on this channel in the future and more content coming your way. So stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.